Underground Railroad, a vast network of people who helped fugitive slaves escape to the north into Canada, was not run by any single organization or person. Rather consisted of many individuals who knew only of local efforts to aid fugitives and not to the overall operation. Still, it effectively moved hundreds of slaves northward each year. According to one estimate, the South lost 100,000 slaves between 1810 and 1850. But the slave running away to the north was anything but easy. The first step was escape from the slaveholder. For many slaves, this meant relying on his or her own resources. Sometimes a conductor, posing as a slave, would enter a plantation and guide the runaways northward. The fugitives would move at night. They would generally travel between 10 and 20 miles to the next station, where they would rest and eat, hiding in barns and any other out-of-the-way place. While they waited, a message would be sent to the next station to alert the station master. Abolitionists who helped to free slaves were subject to strict punishments by law. Their only reward was to see the slaves reach their freedom. Many times rewards were posted for the safe return of slaves back to plantations to prevent abolitionists from participating in helping to free slaves. 2,000 escaped slaves, an 8-room federal-style brick home in Newport, now known as Fountain City, Indiana, became a safe haven on their journey to Canada. This was the home of Levi and Catherine Coffin, North Carolina Quakers who opposed slavery. During the 20 years they lived in Fountain City, the Coffins helped more than 2,000 slaves reach safety. Levi is often referred to as the president of the Underground Railroad. Life for a runaway slave was full of hazard. The journey to freedom meant traveling a few miles at night using the North Star as a map and trying to avoid search parties. Often escaped slaves would hide in homes or on the property of anti-slavery supporters. These stops to freedom were called Underground Railroad stations because they resembled stops a train would make between destinations. Underground refers to the secret nature of the system. In their flights, slaves used several routes to cross into freedom: Madison, Indiana, Jeffersonville, Indiana, and Cincinnati, Ohio. From these points, the fugitives were taken to Newport. Once in the house, the presence of the runaway slaves could be concealed for up to several weeks until they gained enough strength to continue their journey. So successful was the Coffin Sanctuary that while in Newport, not a single slave failed to reach freedom. One of the many slaves who hid in the Coffin House home was known as Elijah, whose story is told in Uncle Tom's Cabin. In 1847, the Coffins moved to Cincinnati so that Levi could operate a wholesale warehouse where supplied goods to free labor stores. The Coffins continued to assist the cause, helping another 1,300 slaves escape. Next, open the Decision Chart PDF file. We'll examine the crucial moment when Huckleberry must decide whether to help to free Jim or return him to his owner. Remember that Huck is a young boy around 12, and there were many harsh punishments for anyone caught helping to free slaves. List 5 possible consequences for Huck on either decision, and then follow it up with a signed paper and submit as well as posting to the classroom blog.